Susie.
You're looking real cute with your curly locks.
I'm just trying over here.
Do you make a choice like today's a curly day?
It's more like a week.
Oh.
Is this going to be a curly hair week or a straight hair week? Because I only really do a wash, like deep clean once a week.
Deep clean.
Yeah. The rest of the day we're just kind of getting it wet. But if it's a straight hair week,
why do you get it wet? If you,
I just I don't get it wet. I just don't put a shower cap on. Yeah. The humidity of the shower kind of helps the curls, refreshes them. But if I wear it straight, that shower cap's going on.
Okay.
No humidity.
Okay, got it.
No moisture.
This is episode 326. Do you use that shower cap that you got me?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Those things are great. All right. Well, you look wonderful.
Oh, well, thanks. You do too.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yay.
What do you want to talk about?
I just learned something really cool.
What is it?
That researchers at this artificial intelligence company called AKQA. They probably have a weird name to say it, like Aqua, something like that. I don't know how they pronounce it.
Yeah.
But they designed the first ever, AI game, like a sport that was designed by artificial intelligence.
Oh.
Yes.
The players are like robots?
Well, the people are regular people, but the sport itself and the rules and everything was designed by artificial intelligence. So they looked at this, they created a program that analyzed 400 different sports around the world.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And they found the rules that would work best. I don't even know how they did it. And created a game where you have two teams of 6 players. But one of the most exciting things about this game and why it caught my attention is the picture that I saw of people playing it were both male and female. They were teams with both genders. And I think, remember how we talked about a long time ago about sports and how we need to start designing sports that cater to different abilities, and it's all just all male-dominated because if you're bigger, faster,
the games.
Right. So this game, it doesn't matter. It's the rules are designed to where you can have teams of males and females, and either one will be just as good.
Who's playing this game?
Apparently, a ton of people, because they already say that there are leagues forming around the world from Malta to Mozambique, and they have, and it's called Speedgate.
I was going to say,
what's the name?
So who named it? The AI?
Ooh,
robots?
Good question.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Speedgate. Do you know the premise of it?
I sure do.
Okay.
The object, I'll just read it since it's any of those game rules are kind of confusing. So it says the object of the game is for the teams to try to score points by getting the ball through their own goal posts on the playing field. However, a team can only score if they are first able to get the ball through the posts in the center of the field. Players in possession of the ball are not allowed to move. But they are allowed to pass to other players as long as the ball is passed from below the waist, which caters to if you're shorter, you're fine. It's not like a game where if you're shorter and everybody's throwing overhead, you can't play. It really is designed so it's a really inclusive game.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, this sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun.
Yeah, and you can go on Speedgate has its own website, and they're starting leagues, and it says it's so easy and simple and requires very little equipment that you can just get a gang of friends together and start playing in your own backyard, and you can check out the Speedgate website, and they'll tell you how to play.
I like that it's good for low income folks too. It does, you know how hockey and stuff are so expensive.
Totally.
Oh wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I thought that was really cool.
You are for sure going to join a league.
Oh, probably.
I feel like I can't believe you didn't already.
I was really just bringing this up to recruit people to be on my team.
Coach.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, team, let's go.
I wonder how it's going to play out and if it'll become an official thing.
I think it will. It seems like it's like the future of games, and it's been a long time since we've invented a new game. We could totally use a new sport.
I feel like the dearth of new sports is what almost created reality TV's competition genre.
Yeah, that's what one of those guys said, that it's like America's 5th national sport, the challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That guy we don't like, Bill Simmons.
We like him.
Well, we like him now, but we didn't like him when he was Team Johnny.
We don't like that guy.
Right. I was like, we don't like him.
Yes. Okay. I like the sound of this. This is very encouraging.
Yeah.
And do you think that the robots, who was doing it? Scholars or... Oh, you said it's a company.
Yeah, it was a side project by a Portland-based innovation agency. So
if there is ever a time when I want to not cough, I should definitely not push record. Because as soon as we push record, I get phlegm. I need to cough. I'm surprised it doesn't get vomity in here.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, I had to wet my whistle there.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I like this story.
Yeah, so I thought it would be that's like a kind of a cool new thing that maybe if you're like interested and, you're like a sporty person or maybe even a not sporty person who just wants to stand there and pass the ball from below your waist, sign up.
Well, whether you're a sporty person or not, we all need to eat.
That is important if you're going to have energy to play this new game.
Yes, you have to fuel yourself with good food, and I recommend using Green Chef, which...
Ooh, yes, I've been using that all this week.
So yummy.
Oh, my goodness. I had a Cuban chicken with black beans. Oh.
Really good?
So, in fact, I ate both servings.
That's so funny.
That's the truth.
You know what? You're hungry.
Yeah, I was.
You're working your brain.
Miranda was gone, so.
Right. Green Chef lets you choose from a wide array of easy-to-follow lifestyles with select organic ingredients. They have expert chefs design flavorful recipes for your lifestyle that go way beyond ordinary substitutions. And it just makes cooking easy with dinner options, working with your lifestyle, not the other way around. Thank goodness for that. And they have a deal for you guys for a total of $75 off. That's $25 off each of your first 3 boxes. Go to greenchef.us/braincandy75. So again, that's $75 off. It's $25 off each of your first 3 boxes. Just go to greenchef.us/braincandy75. And it's easy, so do it.
Yes.
I actually just ordered it for my mom because she won't eat. The woman is so weird. And so she'll be like, what? I had a latte. You're like,
count.
Lady, you need to eat food, sustenance. So hopefully that'll help her.
Yeah.
Speaking, though, of sports, I watched the documentary about the gymnastics scandal.
Oh, my gosh.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
It's on HBO. I think it's called, like, The Heart of Gold or something.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously you know about this scandal and that their medical person was abusing them. But to hear them describe it and also how he got away with it is, it's really an indictment on U.S. gymnastics, as well as the sort of culture we create around money in sports and things to protect abusers.
Yeah.
And they brought up a really good point that I hadn't thought of, which is how it's the perfect storm for an abuser because gymnasts believe like no pain, no gain. They're trained to work through the pain and just can continue.
Yeah.
Even if you're in agony.
Oh.
And so they had that mindset. And also he was a master manipulator, of course.
Yeah.
And he was sort of the good cop. So like the coaches would be mean to them and
right. It's
and
hidden
he'd be
in
like,
love.
here's candy or
right.
like use my phone because they're not allowed to use phones on the ranch when they're training.
Oh my God.
And he was the guy they turned to that developed trust. And also like their relationship with their bodies, like they're used to people touching them and moving their body parts to get the things right. And so he really exploited kind of like the system.
Yeah.
And what's crazy to me is that he would start it by doing it in front of their parents, which legitimized it.
And made it look like
this
it's
a medical
treatment.
He called it a treatment. Oh my God. And the parents were sort of in the room, and so they might know that he was in that general area, but they would think that it was...
Oh my God, like what was he doing? I need to...
Well, ultimately, he was...
Trigger warning.
Inserting his fingers inside of them and doing... I don't know if... He just called it a treatment, but I guess stimulation or whatever. And he told them there was a trigger point in the vaginal canal that he needed to do to like help their injuries and stuff. And it sounds crazy, but if you're used to unconventional practices, then it wouldn't seem
if you're
that
a
weird.
child and you're being told by somebody who looks like a doctor, acts like a doctor, is called a doctor by everybody else, you're going to think that, what do you know?
Well, because he would start them when they were about 6.
Oh, and come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is all, everything that you're saying is so...
It's textbook, really.
It's textbook because they play into the attachment circuitry, where those same things that a caregiver would do to make you. That's why I say like it's hidden in love, because they take advantage of that attachment circuitry where it doesn't feel, and that's why we call it safe and unsafe touch, because you can't even call it good and bad, because to them it may even feel good. Yeah,
it can feel nice if they're good at what they do, you know.
And it's messed up, but
it's very confusing.
Very.
And then they would go and the few that would go and say, this is making me uncomfortable, like this doesn't seem like a medical thing. Mm-hmm. And then the coaches and stuff would threaten them and all that stuff.
That's all of it's so sad, but, you know, you take these like future Olympians or Olympians, and you're like, oh, would you like to not be on the team then?
Yeah.
And what are they going to do?
Right.
You've really like created this whole place where there's like environment where they're just stuck.
The thing that confused me was they didn't provide a lot of insight into how it progressed. Eventually, when you watch the footage from the trial and you hear the women, you know, testifying, and they would say what ended up happening, where he ended up like having an erection and like putting his wiener on their feet or whatever, like
what?
Different body parts and stuff. God. And so you think, well, how did it go from this is a legitimate medical? I mean, that's some very strategic and manipulative
grooming.
Yeah.
Yes, you're totally right.
And so then you're in too deep and all that stuff. And he's in jail, of course. He'll die in jail. But it's just, there were hundreds of women.
Oh, well, that's the real shocker. You know, when I was doing these presentations on sexual assault, when I went to the military base in Hawaii, one of the slides that I have is on like qualities of a perpetrator. Like, what are some characteristics? And of course, there's not a one size fits all. It's not like, you know, but there are certain things that we know about them. And one is that they almost always underestimate the number of victims they have. There was a study that was done where researchers were interviewing men who had been incarcerated and like arrested and then put in jail for sexual abuse and sexual assault. And when they were first interviewed, they admitted to, oh my gosh, I want to get the numbers right. I think it was at first they admitted to like 54 victims between 15 of them. And then after they had ran the experiment and watched them, and they watched the interactions and recorded the interactions between the sex offenders, and through that it came to light that there were like over 900 victims, that they had all said like 10% of the actual number of victims.
The abusers would say that it was about 10%.
Yes, yeah.
And do you think that's because they don't think of the others as victims, or?
Ooh, that's a really good point. Maybe.
Because I found that when I write to them, they don't think they hurt anybody.
That I didn't even take that into consideration.
So you were thinking like they're just like lying.
Oh, let me get I have the exact numbers here, and I have the study. It was a study done in 2007, and I was a little bit off. I was way off.
That's all right.
It was speaking with 99 male sex offenders. The court record showed they had 136 victims between them. That's what the court record shows. But later during treatment, they eventually confessed to 959 between them. So it's still the same.
Wow.
They're only reporting about 10% of the actual victims that they have.
That's bonkers. And it's bonkers.
For every one they say, there are 9 others that they...
Wow. Mm-hmm. It's hard to understand if you haven't experienced it, but I'm just glad he's in jail and that those women got some kind of closure and justice for themselves.
And think about how this new way that we're addressing sexual assault is going to stop these long-term offenders. Mm-hmm. You know, by teaching age-appropriate sexual health, really, and sexual abuse awareness to kids, they will develop the language to recognize what safe and unsafe touching is. They'll be able to say that it's wrong. we have to teach this to kids so that they can recognize when it's not okay, and talk about things like, no touching under anywhere your bathing suit covers. And I think that when you have more kids who have this information and are able to speak out, which is so sad that we have to put it on, the victims.
Yeah.
But it will stop those cycles because people will, that's what happens is the education isn't there. Nobody talks about it. And then it just gets brushed under the rug for
Well, and thankfully people like
decades.
Oprah have been opening people's eyes
Yes.
about how it's not like in a dark alley and under the knife
Right.
Threat of violence or whatever in that way. Often it's in your own home with someone you love. And that, I think, is surprising to a lot of people still.
Yes.
But we are making progress, so thank heavens for that.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, God.
Well,
There are a lot of those myths out there.
one thing that's not a myth is how great Poshmark is.
Well, that's for sure.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah's been posting all
Selling.
kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I always see on Twitter, because yours posts to Twitter then. And I'm
Yes.
like, Sarah's poshing
Yep,
today.
I'm poshing.
Poshmark is such a great app if you want to buy clothes that you like, but at a more reasonable price. You can buy gently used or even sometimes new items, often with tags, from people who no longer need them or want them, and you can get a really great deal. Plus, you can list your own stuff, which we do.
Yes.
And you can make some money and then go buy more stuff.
Love it. It's my favorite thing. Or you can just cash out and take the cash.
Yeah, it's really great and convenient and super fun because it's always fun to get a sale or to find a bargain.
Or sometimes I'll find stuff at the store that I love that's like last season, but they don't have it in my size. And then I'll go on Poshmark and it'll be there.
Yeah, I've had good luck
Sold,
finding
take it.
things that I thought I missed out on.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
If you want to check it out, download the app or you can go on the website and be sure to use our referral code, which is also the name of Sarah's closet. It's I'm Sarah Rice. And if you do, you get $5 towards your first purchase. So there's lots of things that are super cheap and you can get even more money with that $5 referral code, which is I'm Sarah Rice. So do that. Okay, we need to keep it happier because that was a real downer.
know,
But
gosh.
I know, but I just thought it was so
Woo.
important, and I wanted our listeners to maybe watch it too because I think it's very informative. And
Well, when you're done watching that and you need something to get you in a better mood, you can just watch the Beyonce Homecoming documentary slash show.
Yes.
Because it's amazing and it's the best. And now I know what I'm going to be for Halloween. Done.
which outfit you can wear?
One of the backup dancers.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Now, my real dilemma or problem is deciding whether I want to be pink or yellow.
Yes,
I mean, with the little berets. I mean, come on. And I even have a plan for, well, what if I get pregnant by Halloween? What if I'm big? Well, then I'll be one of the step dancers and I'll wear the pink jumpsuits that they have. Whole thing planned out.
Are you obsessed, would you say?
Obsessed. I mean, it's amazing.
Have you watched it more than once?
Well, I've only watched it once, but then I've listened to the soundtrack. I mean,
that's my
the
thing.
live taping
I think
the whole
I
time.
need to familiarize myself with the music before I get into
so good.
the film.
And it's just, the film is the show, but then there are clips in between of her getting ready, her practicing. I mean, when she started rehearsing for it's the Coachella performance, which, oh my God, I mean, it's so good.
I
She
love
just
this.
burned the house down.
Yeah.
Woo! Her first day practicing was her first day back after having twins.
Oh, right.
And you see
How old were
what
the
she
twins
looked
at that
like
time?
oh my gosh. They couldn't have been that old. I mean, maybe I don't know. I couldn't even guess. But you see what she looks like when she first starts and then what she looks like during the performance. And I think it was about maybe 9 months, maybe a year that they worked on this. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. She is dedicated and that woman works.
So you know
It's
how
so good.
when Beyonce was growing up, her parents were super involved in helping her prepare for her career and everything, and her dad was doing the dance choreography in their backyard and stuff.
So cute.
Do you think that that's a good approach? Because it really worked out for them.
Yeah.
Or do you think that it's too much too soon where it's too hard on the kid to...
I don't know. I mean, it seems like both her and Solange did a really good job. Just, they still seem like they have some sense of normalcy. Like, they're not...
Yeah, they're not crazy people.
You know, yeah, they're not crazy people.
But, like, do you think that's just because of who they are, or do you think it's because of how they grew up, where they knew what was expected?
Maybe a little bit of both. I kind of think of, like, Tiger Woods' dad, too.
Yeah.
You know?
And the Williams sisters?
Yep.
Right. Right? Because
And
their
we
dad
can't
was similar.
deny that they're all people of color, and they all absolutely, you know, I hear from my friends, you know, you hear this all the time, that you got to work twice as hard to get half as far. And these guys are working 10 times harder.
Right.
And are getting far.
I just want to know how to spark that fire in myself and also my child, where I want him to have that sense of, like, ambition.
Yeah.
Because that's cool.
Man, that would be an interesting one about, like, the parents of all these people.
Because they do seem like a type.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way,
right.
not militant or anything.
Yeah, and nobody's like, you know, I think with those kind of parents, they end up burning out by the time they're in their early 20s. Like, they can't even make it through the college sports, or it becomes too much. So somehow all those parents that we just said have created the balance where they're still able to, I don't know.
I admire it.
Yeah.
It's amazing when I see it.
And you know what? Dads.
Yeah.
In
Maybe
all
it's just like, oh, they're fucking involved for once.
Okay.
I don't mean in the people of color community. I just mean in general. Because, like, my dad was a dud.
Right.
You know?
No, I didn't go to anything.
Right. Like, anytime I see a good dad, I'm like, wonder what that's like.
Right.
You know? Because it would truly maybe change you fundamentally.
Totally.
To have two caring parents. So sad. Why do we keep getting dark today?
Oh, we didn't mean to. I thought I was coming in with a happy...
well, I did read a really cool article about motherhood, not fatherhood.
Oh.
And it was, you know, when you notice something in the zeitgeist, but you don't consciously you're not aware of it. So this brought up something that I knew exactly what they were talking about, but I hadn't put the dots together myself.
Okay.
And that is the boom of the sort of white upper middle class woman referring to herself and her friends as mama. Like, hey mama, like hot mama.
Yeah.
And that whole thing of, I always think of Tori Hall from the show, because she to me represents that woman.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like that, but I know she is, where she's just like, she has like inspirational quotes up and all that jazz. And, you know, live, laugh, love, all that. And, you know, she refers to her kids as kiddos. And like, if she used to call Brad the hubs. And I hated it. I tell her this. It's not behind her back, obviously. But anyway, so she would always refer to herself as a mama, and they always like, I don't know.
You know
do
what's
you know
funny?
What I'm saying?
I do, but I laugh because like I have 3 friends that I do that with.
Yeah, well, you're
Mariana,
an upper middle class white woman.
The people who I do it with are not.
Okay, Mariana.
And Kelly.
Yeah.
And
They're
me.
White. They present as white. I don't know what you're talking about. I know Mariana is Latina, but...
Yes. She's straight from Mexico.
I know she is.
Yeah, and she's the one who started it, really. So, like...
Okay.
You know.
I'm not saying other cultures don't do it. In fact, the article pointed out that this was something very popular in the black community, and then we kind of like fucking stole
That's
it.
kind of what we do with everything.
Everything.
Yeah. It's awful.
But it was really interesting because they made some good points, which is that when a woman becomes a mom, it's of course part of her identity, but there's all these connotations about the word mom, mom jeans, mom hair. Everything's negative too. Yeah. And also mother's like old-timey and antiquated. And so it was almost like they needed a new word to signify like, I'm still cool, but my vagina's just a little bit wonky. And so mama became this word that mean that. And then they said, well, maybe because Mama Bear, you know, you're protected.
Yeah, and that's my friend Kelly. She called it, like, it was Mama Bear, and she has a little bear tattoo on her wrist for her son.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, it's cute. Like, I'm not disparaging it. Yeah. It's just that's not my scene, like the mommy blogger world. And so they pointed out accurately that men don't have to deal with this about the idea of being a dad. There isn't really
Could you imagine if they all call each other daddy?
Papa Bear.
Hey, Papa.
Yeah, they just don't, because we recognize that that's just part of their life. It's not
their identity.
Dad jeans, dad juice.
Oh, except
dad hair.
Landon and I were out at the movies last night, and he came out of the car and looked at himself up and down and was like, "Yeah, I'm dadding it tonight. Like, I got my dad shoes on, I got my dad hat on. Do I look like a dad right now or what?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you are definitely an Orange County dad right now." Travis Matthews shirt, baseball cap, New Balance shoes because he with his orthopedic insoles because he has foot problems now.
I would say though they're not intrinsically a dig. Even dad bod, people are like, "Yeah, man, I like a
They're
dad
into
bod."
it. Yeah.
So it's not that sort of negative mom.
Definitely. Right.
So, and it pointed out how even things that have nothing to do with the fact that you're a mom become mommed. Like when we say mom's night out, why?
Right.
Why are we saying that? Why aren't we just saying I'm going out with my girlfriends or whatever?
That's a good point.
And
maybe it gives us it gives them in some way permission to do it. I think that's
which bums me out.
It does. Ugh.
Like you have permission.
Because it's well, guys' night out, mom's night out.
Yeah, guys.
Yes, I know.
Sarah.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, yeah, that's why I said it.
I know. I'm like, yeah. Man.
Right. So anyway, I'm going to put this in the newsletter because it was a really long article and there were so many good points. And I just felt like it really synthesized something that I knew existed but didn't really know much about. And of course, the people of color using the term way before we did is another important thing to remember when you weren't using it.
Did you see the Met Gala? And
oh yeah,
what's her name?
Lena.
Yes.
What's her last name? Lena something. Wait.
With the shirt,
the jacket.
Yeah, the jacket that said "Black drag queens invented camp."
Yeah,
because they did.
Yeah, I was glad she wore that.
Yeah,
and I didn't really know that
term.
Once I saw her jacket, I'm like, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
but
right?
I didn't think of it.
All of it, even what do they call it? Like gay. There's a tone that's kind of like a way of speech, what am I trying to say?
Affectation?
Yeah, kind of like that, where it's really a lot of those phrases that were popularized by black drag queens.
Yeah.
They totally invented that.
Yeah.
Black women, and then, it was like...
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that even with the Yes Queen
yes,
language.
That's totally it. Yes, that is it.
That then we co-op.
Yep.
I'm like, we're going to take that. That's real cute.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you sort of have to acknowledge.
You got it. Yeah, you have to acknowledge where it came from.
Yeah.
And, the thing I don't like is when you do all that, but then you're prejudiced or have any kind of feelings against the group that created it.
Yeah.
You can't be out there.
Good point.
That's what bugs me. You can't be having using that affect and then also voting against the people who...
Yeah, that's why I said to my sister the other day, I'm like, it's not right that mom goes to a male hairdresser that's gay.
You can't do that.
You can't say that they're sinning and then be like, but do my hair.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, you like that? Okay, well then vote in favor of these people, support these people, help.
Yeah, you can't reap the benefits.
For goodness sakes.
Another benefit that you can reap is if you use Dave, which is an app, dave.com. And it's so cool because it's basically preventing you from getting overdraft fees, right?
Well, hello.
This used to happen to me. Right, me
from
too.
Age 16 to about 25.
Yeah, me longer maybe. Because I would be like, oh, I got a cup of coffee. Really? Because it's $40.
Right. Oh my God, I've done that before.
And it's very hard to keep track. And then I knew that they do it sneaky.
Totally. 100%.
Right.
Yeah,
they put the big purchase first.
Yes.
So you over. And then every little one after that is
That's totally true.
Yeah, it is. They admit it, actually.
It's awful.
But anyway, Dave.com is the #1 budgeting app in America because it saves you from the overdraft fees that ruin your life. And it tells you about your upcoming bills. And you can advance $75 from your next paycheck with no credit check and no interest if you're in a bind, which is great. You get the Dave app, and for just $1 a month, it's $12 a year, which is way less than an overdraft fee.
I was just going to say that.
Right. So, you know, give $1 a month, but then you don't have to deal with all the other crap. Mark Cuban is an investor.
Oh, there you
He
go.
knows what those overdrafts are like. And so you should give it a try. Go to dave.com/braincandy. Really helps the show if you let them know you heard it here. Then download Dave and never pay another overdraft fee again. It's immediate savings. Go now, dave.com/braincandy. It's spelled just like it sounds, DAVE.com/braincandy. There you go.
It's so funny because my friend, who I think is probably the best at logistics and the most organized and the best in investment and all that, happens to be named Dave.
No.
Yeah.
Did he make it?
In my head, I was like,
Did he?
wait a sec. My friend Dave would make something like this.
Well, maybe he'll like to use it. Tell him.
That's funny.
He probably already has it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that was my mommy long read, and I will put that in the
That's
newsletter.
interesting. It's important to think about stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. And I just am fascinated by human behavior. So it's interesting how you pick up on stuff like the word mama. You may use it, and you might not even realize it's a thing.
Yeah.
I love things and stuff.
How do we feel about the word girl?
For whom?
Like, girl, something,
like
something,
it.
something. Me too.
I do prefer dude. You taught me that, where I'm like, dude.
I love that you say that now.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It suits me, and it's just great.
Welcome to California.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because it does feel so emphatic.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Dude.
But maybe it's because I hear you doing it when I do it. Yeah, but girl,
because it's the start of a sentence, not how anywhere. I would never put the word dude anywhere else but the very beginning of a sentence.
I kind of feel like it's an entire sentence.
Yeah.
Dude, period.
Then the rest.
And then the next sentence comes.
Uh-huh.
I like that. Girl is fine, though.
Yeah.
You use that one?
Sometimes, yeah. I like it.
Do you feel like it's...
Girl? I do. A lot.
Okay.
What?
Do you feel like
it's
we're
what?
co-opting?
Kind of a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the Lego Braille bricks?
No, but I love it.
It's
Go
so
on.
cool. They finally made these Lego bricks that on top have Braille words and letters, and it helps teach blind folks to read.
Wow.
But they can build as well. And it's just such a cool...
Man, that has to be activating some really cool stuff in your brain.
Yeah, and I feel like I would love to
Me
have
too.
those. Like, you could even maybe learn yourself some of the
Man, that's really
language.
cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I was just like, it's just like you say, you like some good news sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I said to Adam, Sarah's been really into like good news lately. I don't know what it is.
She's on this like whole good news kick.
Because you're graduating, maybe you're feeling like optimistic.
Super.
And I'm
That's
like,
totally
okay,
it.
I'll meet you where you are, but
I'll meet you where you are.
but that's not where
that's so funny.
Yeah, but that was some good news that I thought Sarah's going to be really happy about this.
I am happy about that.
But I didn't realize there was like a need for it.
There
I
is.
suppose it's sort of like the blocks that little kids use with the letters. You know,
yes.
English letters.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
So it can be used in that way,
Yes.
which is fun.
And my mom swears that's why I have color graph my synesthesia.
I
because of a
believe
block
that.
set. And people who have researched that, this, synesthesia, there is the only time where they saw overlap where people had the same colors and numbers was a select group who were born in a certain time period who all had the same set of blocks growing up.
That's awesome.
Right. And that's the only correlation they can make.
Like their
between-
wires fired
Yeah.
at that moment.
Yeah.
But do you think it's bad?
No.
You like it?
Love it. I mean, the only time it's a problem is with basic math. I no joke had to ask Siri what 60 minus 28 was the other day.
Because the colors distract
The
you?
only thing that works and I realize why I love the number 23 so much is because 2 plus 3 is 5
Mm-hmm.
and 2 is yellow and 3 is blue in my mind and 5 is green. And when you mix blue and yellow, they make green. And when you add 2 and 3, it makes 5. So it's like perfect in my mind. 2, 3, and 5 like fit together and it's so nice and lovely and pretty and not doesn't conflict. Like
Yeah.
everything doesn't conflict. But when I try to add like 6 and 2,
all hell breaks loose.
all hell breaks
Why?
loose.
What color are they?
2 is yellow,
Yeah.
and 6 is like a lavender color, but 8
That's
is orange.
hideous.
And I hate the
But
number
8 is orange,
and
she
I
said.
hate the color orange. And now I know why I hated 8 so much, because I don't like orange.
This sounds like I get anxiety just thinking about what you've been through. But you say you love it. I don't get that.
I do, because I can remember things so well. Because I just remember what colors they are. And I remember, like, logs itself in 2 different
that
parts of
I
my
get.
brain.
Okay.
So then when I think about the Legos and learning language with Legos, you'd make some association, and it would almost put that information in the maybe the language part of
Yes,
your brain,
I get that.
and in the
Okay.
part wherever that building stuff happens. So it's like learning in 2 different parts of the brain, I think, does something to really...
Solidify it.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the word I was
I
thinking.
do think it's funny, though, how you're like, it's great, except for when I try to do basic math.
Right, like the simplest math. Difficult, complicated, like those, great. I can do the
Yeah.
big, because then it's more abstract
It's just a mess,
thinking.
yeah.
Yes. And none of it makes sense, but just simple, like, ooh, no, I don't like it. I could never live anywhere where the house number, like,
Oh, Lord.
didn't match. And mine's just one number, so
Yes.
it's fine.
Okay.
Fine.
That's
No
lucky
conflict.
for you.
I know.
And all of us.
Yes.
I want to show you these pictures. I've been saving this to talk
yay.
about. You probably already know this, but
Maybe,
I
I
sure as
don't.
heck didn't.
Okay.
Somebody put out a tweet the other day. I just found out this is how they x-ray small children, and I can't stop laughing.
What?
Wait till you see.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is
So
funny.
they must.
Wait, what? That looks awful. They all are going to need trauma counseling as
First
adults.
of all of the doctors and nurses that listen, why have you not told us about this?
Seems like something you should have told us.
So it's
Week
this
one.
tube, a clear tube. What did you call it? A tube?
This is what it reminds me of. You know when you go to the bank and you're on the drive-up window and you have to put there's this little cylinder that you put your money in or whatever. It goes
Like in
shoots
Willy
up,
Wonka.
That's what it looks like. Like, exactly.
Yeah, like they look like they're going to be sucked up
Yes.
into something, and they have their arms above their head, and they're squished, and their fat faces
Yes.
look hilarious.
Hilarious. I mean, like,
at
this
that.
looks like if you left him in there. Oh my God. It's like so cute, but also so
aren't-
weird.
They're not in distress.
No, they're not. So they seem to be okay.
And there's a gap so that they can breathe, which
Well,
allows
thank God.
their face to be, open. But it's essentially like stuffing a human into a tube.
Yes.
And it's the best.
Oh my gosh.
So let's say the kid had a broken arm, though.
Yeah, you do it the other way. Oh my God, how do
What
you hold
way?
him still? Oh, that's so
Maybe
scary.
this is maybe just for
It's
like
got to be for internal stuff.
abdominal
Yeah.
x-rays.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't need to do it for an arm. You can just...
Right, you can lay it out on that table, which is the worst. You've never broken a bone, have you?
No.
Oh my God.
What's the worst?
Getting an x-ray of a broken bone is
Why?
awful because you have to position, your bone is broken, okay? So
You're like,
right. So it only wants to go in one direction, and that's the one that it's broken in. Like, don't move it. Mm-hmm. And when you get an x-ray, they need a clear picture, so you have to position it in all these different angles. So you have to like rotate it, move it.
That sounds terrible.
Excruciating. And
For
then they
real?
make you yes, for real. And they make you hold it in that spot while they like run around and press the button and run back, and you're just like dying. At least all the times I've broken bones and gone through this, it's miserable.
tell me what it feels like to have a broken bone.
It's the most intense pain really quickly, where when I broke my foot, and that wasn't a clear break, that was like a splinter where it just broke into like 10 pieces. I got this wave that came over me of nausea.
Oh my
Like
God.
where I had to go to the bathroom and throw up, like vomit,
Yes.
because it was
Okay.
like, oh Lord. And then I felt really lightheaded. That one, like I was going to pass out. That was like the worst. But other times, of course it depends on how bad it is. I broke my growth plate in my leg or foot, and I walked around on it for 2 weeks. And yeah, I really shouldn't have done that, but that was a mistake.
Well, that doesn't sound like it feels really good.
Yeah, so that one wasn't as bad.
What does feel good, Sarah, is when you have a really awesome orgasm.
Oh, yeah. That's like the opposite of everything we're saying.
The Omax O-Shot is here to help. I just was talking about this before we started with Sarah.
Yeah.
So, you know those weird products that you put on, I guess you put on your privates, and then they just are super hot or super cold?
They're essentially the exact same as those lip plumpers that are like really just causing an allergic reaction wherever you're putting
your body
it. Like
protests,
for real. It's
right.
like cinnamon or something like that.
Yeah, it's like poison.
Yeah.
Well, this is the opposite. They created this O-Shot CBD arousal oil.
I'm in.
Those are all of Sarah's favorite things.
Yep, I'm sold.
She loves CBD. She loves arousing herself, and she loves O's.
Yeah, come on, who doesn't?
Instead of that weird hot or cold thing, they have this that has 8 natural botanicals in it to cause sensory tingling and promote multiple physiological effects for, you know, increasing stimulation and circulation and arousal, lubrication, all that jazz.
100% edible, in case you were wondering.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, some of those other kind are grody to the max.
Oh, we've had this conversation in our...
right.
In the bedroom before.
And it's like, no, thank you. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
But this is great. And it's a base of organic liquefied coconut oil. So that helps lubrication. And then when you're about to get busy, you just gently apply a little bit and then have some fun.
Yep.
And it lasts about 30 to 60 minutes for good times. Call Sarah. Whether you're single or looking to spice up your relationship with more satisfying sex, every woman can benefit from a more enjoyable orgasmic experience. Amen. Omax O-Shot comes to the rescue and provides heightened sexual sensations, which give you the instant and long-lasting satisfaction you've been looking for. And it's 100% safe and natural. Remember, go to omaxhealth.com today and enter code BRAINCANDY to take advantage of the savings. That's OMAX health.com and enter code BRAINCANDY to get 20% off O-Shot and all their Omax products site-wide.
Comes to the rescue.
Good one. Oh my God. I wish that I was clever enough to have come up with that. Okay. Let's move on. Now that we're talking about sex, Sarah's all wound up, probably.
Whoa. Yeah, probably, definitely. It's baby making time over at the Patterson residence.
I feel like that's all we're talking about.
I know, because it's all I'm thinking about now that school's over.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh, this is my new job.
Yeah, you have a void in your life.
Yeah, but I'm trying to have like a what-ifs approach to it.
Well, yeah, that's best.
Like I'm just going to use my bracelet so I know when I'm fertile and everything. And then I'm just going to like...
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not do any, like, I'm just going to like do it.
You know how people are like, as soon as we stopped trying, it came. I saw an Onion article one time that was like, a couple quits trying and still doesn't.
That's so great.
Because it's so frequently said, but the reason is because it's actually true.
Yeah, because it's stress. Stress is the, numero uno. So no wonder. I mean, come on. I've been stressed for like the past 3 years.
Yeah, right.
So now I'm done being stressed.
Yeah, chill out.
Super chill.
Use your Omax.
Yes.
And then let whatever will be.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what if you have triplets or something?
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
I'll have to defriend you.
I'll give you one.
Oh my God. Can you even imagine that nightmare?
3, that's scary. 2, I'm into it.
Yeah, I can see the benefits of 2.
I could definitely handle 2. I know I could. But 3...
It's a bit much.
I don't know. More babies than I have boobs is...
You'd be outnumbered also, like parents to kid ratio.
Yeah, you can't go zone defense right off the bat. You got to like play man to man a little bit first.
Like it upsets me just thinking about it.
Susie's lost all track of thought, the whole train of thought.
I went to breakfast this morning with somebody who has a 3-month-old, and I was kind of just joking about how kids are the worst. And he was like, I never wanted kids, and now I want 1 million.
Oh.
And I was like, really? You must have got a good one. And he goes, no, I got a night nanny. They have a night nurse.
Nice.
So
good move.
Then you can sleep.
Yeah.
I
might get one of those.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like...
I will keep shopping at Forever 21 and get myself a night nurse. That's my plan.
Just pinch pennies elsewhere.
Yeah, I'll just like stop buying lattes, right?
Like it's cute, right? I mean, to me, I think people that didn't have something like that would look down on it, but really it's just jealousy.
Yeah. And also, I don't have a family member that could do any sort of helping.
No, we didn't
in the
either.
department of like babysitting or watching or anything, even
it's
offering any
out
sort
there.
of assistance.
Yeah.
We're doing this thing solo, so we got to create our own little network of helpers, and that's what you got to do. You got to like make a tribe.
Yeah, you're helping the economy when you give someone a job.
You're welcome.
Anyway, yeah. Okay.
I was just talking to a friend who we were talking about, pregnancy and having babies and things like that. And she had a really, really difficult pregnancy, like sick, just like me. And like, oof, the whole time. And I was like, would you would you even ever think about having another one? And I was convinced she would give me the answer of like, no, I'm good, one and done. She said, I would go through all that again. And knowing who she is and hearing her say that, I was like, okay, I got this. I can do this. Okay, I can get through it. Because I've been scared. Like, I don't want to, we've talked about this. But after hearing her say that, I was like, okay.
It's worse that you experienced it and then you didn't get the reward.
Yeah.
Because then you just think, I'm about to go to hell. I'm going to be tortured.
Yeah.
But you don't
Right.
you didn't have that thing afterwards.
The joy and all that stuff.
Yeah, the joy.
Just the opposite. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna I got my new,
mindset.
Mindset. Thank you.
I saw that Alec Baldwin's wife, Hilaria Baldwin. They have 4 kids already, and she just had a miscarriage, and she was very open about it and sort of described it. And she was talking about what you talked about, where you're newly pregnant, but your body was preparing for and changed as a result. And so afterwards, after the miscarriage, you have to deal with all that kind of like a post-baby body type of situation, but you don't have a baby.
Right.
Which is terrible.
I still feel like I don't have the mind-body connection like I used to as much. Like I have to work
like you
to
disassociated?
Yeah. Like it felt like my body betrayed me. So there's like a disconnect. And I feel like I haven't been as excited about working out and like,
that makes sense.
Eating healthy and doing that, which I should be. And so now that I'm out of school, I'm going to focus. This is like summer of fitness for me.
Yeah, you have to be like intentional about.
Yes, it is totally going to be like soul searching summer.
That's nice.
Yes.
You're going to go on hikes.
So much sage. You don't even know.
Sarah's getting out her cauldron.
Yep. Sage, Palo Santo. It's getting...
What's Palo Santo?
It's like a wood that it's very cleansing, and you've probably seen it. They're these little sticks.
Yeah.
And it smells amazing. And just like sage cleanses the air and...
Is that true?
Stuff.
What does that even mean,
I
cleanses the air?
I believe it. I think, there's like... Have you ever walked into a room where you're like, there's a heaviness in here?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is.
But you're telling me burning that will...
Totally.
Lighten it.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah. I believe it. There's one room at our clinic that feels like that. And all of us are like, we just need to come in on a Sunday and burn some sage in there. Like, we all talk about this one room. We're like, I don't want it. Don't want that room.
Is it just the architectural components? Or is it an energy?
People have said both.
Okay.
That happens to be one room where there is no light. There's no natural light.
It's the worst.
So that could be...
It's a dungeon.
Yeah, it's a dungeon.
Yeah.
And it's a small room. And it's, but individual therapy for the last however many years, there's got to be some stuff in that room. Just some, like, heaviness.
Yeah.
And every now and then you got to clear it out. You just got to, like, open the windows and...
When I was little, my grandparents bought the house next to ours, and my mom had known the previous owners, and the girl had killed herself in there. And so she did like the equivalent, but the Christian way.
Yeah.
Where she prayed over each room. But it's really the same,
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
All we're doing is we're setting a new intention
Yeah.
for this to be a place of positivity.
Yeah.
And you have to,
you got to bring in the light, baby.
It's all the same stuff.
It truly is. That's fun
great.
For me.
You do yours. I'll do it's everything. All set.
Yeah. And it's effective if it is helpful to you.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
Amen.
Let's talk about our favorite subject in the whole wide world.
Does it start with a W and end with ein?
Yeah.
Is it wine?
It is.
Woo!
Cheers, cheers, cheers. I mean, this sounded too good to be true.
Right.
So Sarah and I were skeptical.
Super skeptical. Because, like, you already take my favorite thing, and then you're like, but wait, there's more.
Right.
Like, it gets better.
So this is a wine that we're drinking right now called Fit Vine. And their tagline is, "We crush grapes, you crush life." And the premise was that you can combine your love for fitness and wellness and your love of wine to create. They created a guilt-free wine that you can enjoy without sacrificing tomorrow's workout.
It's about time.
Well, that's
They
true.
already did it for beer.
Oh, good point.
You know, they got light everything, low calorie, whatever.
Michelob Ultra, all those things.
Gimme this in wine.
Yes. So
Thank you, Fit Vine.
Fit Vine.
Oh, that's fun to say.
Fit Vine decided to do this with wine, and we were like, okay, it's going to taste like hot garbage.
Right. Totally. We're like, okay, I'll keep my
we'll still
expectations
drink
low.
it.
I'm totally going to drink it, but whatevs.
But then we just poured it.
I mean,
It's really nice.
I'm so impressed. I would not even know that this was a wine that was any different than any other wine, which is like exactly what I would want in a wine. This
It's
is
just a
actually
nice,
better than
delicious
the light beer.
Yes.
Because
I
it doesn't
agree.
taste any different than regular wine.
Delicious, satisfying, and zero headache in the morning.
Okay.
This is a dream come true.
Sounds
also
like a
dangerous.
challenge.
Right. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, so, okay. This is the deal. It contains way less sugar. Almost none, we noticed.
Almost none. I can't even believe it.
Fewer sulfites, no flavor additives, great taste, lab tested for pesticides, mold, arsenic, glyphosate.
Those are all the things that do give you headaches.
Right.
It's not. Some people think it's the sulfites. Nope. There's more sulfites in a glass of apple juice
It's
and
all
broccoli.
the other
It's all the
jazz,
other
too.
crap, and this takes it out. Oh, I love this.
Fit Vine wine is available nationwide at Whole Foods, Albertsons, Total Wine, Kroger, and your local liquor store. Or just visit fitvinewine.com and you'll receive 10% off your order when you use our code BrainCandy10. Shipping is free when you order a case or more. That's fitvinewine.com and receive 10% off your order and use promo code BrainCandy10.
Oh my God, I'm ordering a case of this for the Patterson house. Because, look, I'm going to drink wine.
Yeah.
That's just a guarantee.
That's how it works.
So, wouldn't it be great if I drank wine with less calories, less sugar, and no hangover? Yep.
Yes,
sign me up.
please. All right. Done deal. Anyway, did you hear about that woman? No, you probably didn't. She didn't find out until she was 70 that she was white.
What?
She's adopted into a black family and just believed. I mean, I saw a video. She looked like ambiguous.
Yeah.
So, you know, like ethnically ambiguous. People cast a lot of that
Yeah, I
out
was
here.
just going to say a commercial's dream.
Yeah, like Johanna, she told me that's what her thing
Yeah,
is.
because
Just
you
like,
don't know what they are.
You?
Yep, and they get a lot of jobs.
And so she just nobody ever talked about it. Nobody ever said anything.
Well, good.
And then I guess she did maybe a DNA.
Oh, yeah,
thing?
like a 23andMe kind of thing.
Yeah, and found out that she was in fact white. And so she still identifies as a black woman, but she really gets mad when you mention Rachel Dolezal.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
This
she's
is like the opposite of that.
Yes, it is. Where her identity was formed believing she was...
Yeah, and it seemed like the people around her confirmed that identity and, you know, like...
Validated
it. That's the word I was looking for. Whereas Rachel Dolezal that's not. It was the opposite.
Yeah, and she says, I didn't lie. I didn't know that I was white until I was 70.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what she would say now if someone said, what are you?
Yeah.
But...
Well, it's the same. Okay, so the reason why people get angry at Rachel Dolezal, for whatever reason they do, and I'm sure it's different for different people, but the reason I have a problem with it is because I have a problem with somebody claiming to be a member of a group but not have to deal with the negatives that come with that. She didn't know what it was like to walk down the sidewalk and have somebody spit in front of her or to be given those little looks that are, you know, but if somebody grew up and
in a black family,
they got, even if they were white, they got all of that.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I think
they received the negatives that came along with.
Yeah. She probably could provide a lot of insight about what it's like to walk around in the world.
Yeah.
In that situation. And then to find out you weren't that. Mm-hmm. But you got to experience what that is like.
Yeah. I mean, and she's 70, so it's not like she was... I mean, the majority of her life was spent where race was a big issue, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be really...
Is, but it is interesting.
Difficult. And I'm sure that with the DNA testing boom, a lot of people are going to find out a lot of things, whether it's about their lineage and their parental... what do you call that when someone is your... like genetic...
Yeah. Your
biological parent.
Yeah.
And then...
lineage.
Also... things like race, ethnicity, that maybe someone's Jewish and they didn't know, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I don't want to know.
No?
Yeah. I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day that I have this, I don't know if it's a fear or just this, like, I just feel like everybody was on the wrong side of history. Knowing I don't know.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think about the stories that I do know about, like, the Rice family. And there are a lot of stories about them and, like, Native Americans. And I have a feeling that they were all a bunch of, like, murderers and they didn't live peacefully with them when the stories are like, the Rice brothers were kidnapped by the Indians. And, like, for real, this plaque exists in, like, where is it, like Maine or Massachusetts or something?
So you were fucking in America since the freaking Mayflower.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. And that you can even check out, I think it's called thericebrothers.com or something like that, where it has this whole story. And this is my family, where four Rice boys were kidnapped by Native Americans, and then the Rice family and, like, the town they lived in sent out a search party and searched for these boys for, like, a year. Finally found them. Probably there was murder involved somewhere. And two of the boys they took back with them, and two of them decided to stay there and married women who were Native American and became part of that culture.
So you have Native American heritage?
Well, not the part... I think that the ones who I am related to were the brothers that did not stay with
right. Okay.
But
gotcha.
Yeah, some cool people in my family down the line were like, peace out. I'm going over here. And one became like a shaman or something like that for the
shaman?
Native. Yeah, for real. It's like all the history is in there. Like he became like a medicine man for the for that tribe. And
Sarah's heritage is very different from mine's. Like, yeah, your grandpa owned a deli and then, like, went to jail for tax evasion or something. Sarah's like, well, half of them married Native Americans and the other half created, what did you say, did something amazing.
No, I really think that's it, is like I'm like scared to look it up because I'm scared to find out that they're just like, the first white people who they probably gave everybody like smallpox
gonorrhea
and like that. It was probably my family. And so like I just like don't want to look it up because I'm like, I know who we were. Ugh, you're not gonna tell me anything.
We wouldn't be friends with them.
Right.
You know
that's
what I mean?
it. That's it. And then I was doing this whole paper for the end of my semester where we talk about, our theory and why we believe it and the things in our life that led up to it. And I didn't mention any of the males in my family in my paper when I turned it in last semester.
That's interesting.
And it was when they edited it, my supervisor wrote, like, what about the males? So this
you don't
semester,
hear that very
you
much.
don't. And so I went back and added that, and I was like, the paragraph is essentially like, all the males in my family were abusive. This one abused their wife. This one was a child molester. This one was a pedophile. So why on earth would I want to go down the rabbit hole of looking at my history when all the males that I know within 2 or 3 generations were awful men?
And
my brothers
so
are the ones who are like changing things and are wonderful men and are doing like great stuff.
Breaking the
and
cycle.
are breaking the cycle and I'm breaking the cycle of not marrying a guy like that.
Right.
But nobody else in my family did.
Gosh. That's bleak, Sarah.
Yeah,
Did you guys know that this was going to be a very special
God, why
episode?
did we made it get so sad?
You know what's weird about you? I forget that you have tattoos and that it's like, not that you have them, but just like, it's a big thing. When someone has a tattoo sleeve, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm bringing this up because I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
And I saw someone today who was like, that's a lot of ink. Like they were commenting on it and how it's unusual. And I really just never think about it. But I think it's a very big thing about how people see you.
Right. And I forget too.
I bet you do.
I totally do. Especially since my personality doesn't really match
the thing.
with what you'd think somebody with a bunch of tattoos would have.
I know. And I told him, I said, well, she said she wanted her outside as colorful as her inside. And he was like, well, that's nice. But that's not what you would normally hear from someone with a sleeve.
Right.
It's not like, and then I want to see color everywhere. Usually it's like kind of dark itself.
Well, I mean, the real answer to that is because I didn't want to be labeled Sarah the weirdo, Sarah the fat girl, Sarah the whatever. So I was
Do
like,
you think that's common?
I think I mean, to me, it was an identity thing. Mm-hmm. Who am I?
You're
I don't really know. I'm going to
be
Sarah with the tattoos because then that's what I was for a long time, and that was like what I owned.
think maybe you still are to a lot of people, and that's weird to me.
Probably am. Yeah.
And does that feel weird to you? Is there a dissonance there?
Sometimes, like when I went to the bank yesterday, and the teller was like, "Oh, I love your tattoos," and my response every time is, "Well, thank you. Luckily, I do too." And they always laugh when I say that. So
how
it's like a nice little
often
icebreaker.
do people comment on them? Every day?
No, not really.
That's
not as much anymore.
Why?
Because I think everyone has tattoos now.
Oh,
It's like not as big of a deal.
I'm shocked.
And I've never had a client comment on them. I've never had anybody I've never even had a client recognize me. It's something crazy that happens in the therapy room where everybody's so tuned into themselves and worried about how they're going to appear that I might as well, they forget my name. We're working together for months.
That's weird.
It happens. And I do the same thing when I've had the same kind of experience with therapists.
Okay, but tell me if you agree with this. I was just thinking about how if I want to be recognized for some reason, like let's say I'm like on a date. I'm obviously not. But let's just say I was on a date and I wanted to impress the guy. Yeah. And I would like hope maybe someone recognized me. I feel like I can make that happen.
You can make somebody recognize you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And come over.
Yeah.
I think normally I send out the vibe of like,
don't talk to me.
We're not doing that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know why. I just feel like when I want it to happen, it happens. Do you agree or do you think I'm crazy?
Maybe I'd agree.
I think you would too.
I think I do because sometimes it's odd that more people come up and talk to me when I'm hanging out with friends.
I think that it has to do with how you feel about yourself.
I agree.
And then you send out this vibe of whatever it is.
Yep. And you know what? When I'm in a group of friends, I usually tend to be the more socially dominant one who's like, whatever.
Ebullient.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
And then that personality is what attracts the people to come up and talk to me.
Yeah, because then they're like, there she is, and I want to say something.
Disneyland with all my friends from school, I got stopped so much that day.
Yeah.
And all the girls at school were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I think that you can put out like a vibe of magnetism.
Yeah.
That then brings people in. But that's, we've gone off the track of anything brain or candy.
Well, I mean,
this is just like human.
Yeah.
Thing.
Oh, but that's the same.
True. I don't know. It just struck me. Anyway. What else? Anything? Before we go? Let me think what else.
Just reading something from the New England Historical Society over here.
As you do.
That said on a hot day, August day in 1704, the Rice Boys were working with their fathers, and suddenly a party of 10 Indians rushed from the woods nearby and seized 5 of the Rice Boys. My math was wrong. It's 5 of them were kidnapped. 3 decided to stay.
I cannot believe this is online.
Yeah, and they have a plaque dedicated to this place in the Thomas Rice Boys. Asher, Silas, Timothy, and Edmund, who is the namesake of my grandfather. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So once I heard that story that sounded like a lot of colonialism, and I was like, I don't want to know.
Right.
We're definitely I don't want to go down that path. I'm just like, ugh.
Sometimes you do have to bury the unsavory bits from your.
And I'm working really hard to
go beyond it.
To balance the scales.
Yeah.
As hard as I can.
Oh, that's a lot of responsibility, though.
Well.
She'll do her best, people. All right.
Godspeed.
Well, don't forget to leave us 5-star review, subscribe, do things like that make us happy.
Susie loves when I go, whoa!
Don't get me started about that. I was in stitches like 10 minutes ago when we had a moment where I thought Sarah was going to let one out.
Yep.
Well, she didn't. She held it in. All right, people. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.